So at this point, the cake is very ready to be popped into the freezer. And I will just be using the reverse side of my napkin. I already used it for so much chocolate to clean the edges, to clean the cake board rather, so that it can be very neat. I'll return this into the freezer, and in 30 minutes I will be back to have the final design going on it. So now it's been about 35 minutes in the freezer, and all totally dry and ready to go with the second coating now. So now we're making a black cake. Remember the cake and remember who it's made for. So we're making the cake in color black. Okay, so basically I'm just going to run you through how I'm going to be spreading the black cream, starting from the surface, around the sides. I typically don't use a whole lot of black because I find that just a little bit will go a long way considering the kind of color it is. So you all don't need to add so much, just a little bit, and whilst combing the cake, it's just going to automatically spread out. This bit I have here is going to cover conveniently all around the sides of the cake and still pipe on the cake. All right, but if you're using a softer color, you might want to consider having more quantity of the frosting of your choice, whipped cream in this case. So what I'm just doing is just to keep applying. That is usually the first step in any case. Once you're done applying evenly, and then you start combing and combing, see, until you are satisfied with the smoothness on the cake, right? So almost there. So after I'm done with the quantity I'll need here, I will just transfer the remaining bit of cream into a piping bag using the shell nozzle. You'll just watch and see. Having true. And then one more thing, guys, whenever I'm spreading cream on the cake, I always make sure that I have like an overlapping part on the cake. That helps with the sharp edges because, typically and technically, logically, anyways, when you have the overlapping part on the cake, defined overlapping edges, it's easier for you to sweep it over and get your edges rather than having an edge like this. It's going to be pretty much difficult to get your edges right. But if you have something like this, it's easier for you to sweep it. So just stay close so that you can learn the trick to getting the perfect edges using your whipped cream. Angled cakes typically take a bit of time to cover evenly. If I were to be covering a round cake, realistically I would have been long done now, but because I have to make sure that the edges, the angles are all well evenly distributed with cream, I have to just go carefully. This also applies to hexagon, rectangle shapes, square shaped cakes. In this case, heart shape. So all of the edges have to be well blended in with the cream before you attempt scraping, so that you don't end up over scraping or overworking or over stressing out your cream whilst trying to get the sides smooth. So I think I'm about 99% done covering now, aside from the little bit that I have left here. Cover it. I hope you all can see. And there, and fill up any loopholes. And then I have this tiny little bit left. All I need to just do is to add, okay, like that. And voila, we have it all covered up, ready to be finished nicely. Okay, right. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is just to get the comb, the smooth scraper that I used earlier, see, and then start trying to get it smoothened out, starting from the back. Everything you're doing on the cake has to start from the back, so that whatever you're doing, You direct all the focus of all your flaws. If any would arise, you would keep it at the back. You have better control when you walk from the back all the way to the front. I'm still gonna have to cover that place. But okay, so I'm just trying to get the angles straight and neat now. So I'll start with the edges now. See that? So how you get the edges is to, like I said earlier, make sure you don't press on the edges so much. Just a little, just the right level of pressure. You go, and you sweep it, and you see that. So you have to go, gradually, a bit at a time. You can't keep jumping. You can't do here and come here. You have to go like in a circumference. So when you're done with the part, you move to the second part. So wherever you stop is where you're going to continue. Right? Okay, so that's it now. And typically for you to get the perfect edges, you can't really get it the first time. So once you go the first time, it's always very likely that you're going to go one more time. I mean, for me, that's what is always. I hope you all are still with me. I hope you all are with me. And just in case you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, this is the right time to do it. Just go to my YouTube and hit that subscribe button, and also turn on your notification so that for every time I drop amazing content as this, you all will be the first to get a grab of it. Don't also forget to hit that like button and also share with your family and friends so that we can continue to build an amazing network here. Thank you. And then it's time to decorate it finally. Okay, so now it's time to switch things up a little bit. So we're gonna add some glitters. I decided to do this manually because my dust pump is taking so much of my time, and so I just have to try and do this whilst trying to control it, and do this all the way through, making sure that I don't have so much. This is a cake. It's supposed to glow in the dark. So everything I have on the cake board, I'm going to clean it off before I then go on to pipe on the cake. So it's time to pipe on the cake now. I'm just trying to pipe around the edges of the cake now. Okay. Trying to use like a Victorian style of piping, but in no particular order really. Using the smaller shell tip. We are having a second take on that. I'm adding the glittery feel on the piped parts now to give it a defined look. I mean, that way I'll make sure that every part of the cake has the glittery feel and there's nowhere left out. So it's time to add the bowl to the cake. Adding it into 3 angles of the cake. Like this. Second part goes somewhere at the back. I'm adding the edible pearls on it now. Just like a defining element. Here. And the middle part. And at the other end. Okay. So final touch right here. And now is the moment we all have been waiting for. Ta-da! Now read this message. Witches don't age. Now you all understand why I called it a cake for a witch, right? Now come to think of it, before I place this on the cake, I wanted to tell you all that when I first saw this message, you know, the African in me was like, oh my god, what is this? But then thinking again, I know it's just something so harmless and just some pure Gen Z vibe. I think so.